Hello, and welcome back to Matt's Rocks 2. Currently, or present, formerly Matt's Rocks. I got locked out of that channel. I probably signed in the wrong. It wouldn't accept my passwords. I got 3 passwords for 3 different channels. Well, I only had 2 channels at the time, but I had 3 different passwords. One because it kicked me out once before, so I made another password and got the key things for that, but I still can't get back into it. But anyway, today I'm going to be doing this Brazilian agate because my darn Swazi agates are taking forever. I'm ending up with a bunch of little small curlicue things on it, or it's like there's an extra or a larger piece of grit in there underneath it somewhere. And it's the ones that didn't have them. All right, I took them back a second time after polishing them all the way down and took them back to the 220 grit because they had those swirl marks on them. Got the swirl marks out of them and got it back down to the 1200 grit and they started coming back. But I also had some that didn't have any on there that I started on the final polish that I had already finished on the 1200 that didn't have them. And they ended up getting the swirl marks too. So I don't know what it is. That's got a pad over top of that metal. I thought it might have been coming from the metal somehow. Something jammed into one of the, because it's not the, it's got one section, one of the squares has got a whole corner melted, kind of melted out of it where it didn't, I shouldn't say melted out of it, where it didn't fill in when they formed the metal. So it's like a pot metal, and it didn't, it just didn't form that corner, so it's rough and it comes back in probably that far off of the corner and kind of jagged around the inner edge, you know, or the edge that's in the square itself. But I don't think that's what caused it. And I also had one that it's kind of shaped too much like this, and it's hard to get the weight on there because it's supposed to have 2 pounds of weight on it, or 3. And I tried putting 2 on there and it just kept falling off one side or the other. And even with the hot glue. And so I decided I'd take 2 weights and kind of straddle that point. One of them lighter than the other one because it was wore off on one side on the corner edge where it's like it didn't flatten all the way out to it. And I know it was flattened before that, but I think what it was the heavy side of the weight was hanging on that side. And so that's why it cut that one down more on the upper grits, or the bigger grits, the 220 and all that. But it seemed like it was level when I put it on. I think it was level when I put it on the final polish, but and then I switched out. I was using the same weights for all of them because I only have so much lead shot that I can put in plastic bags and tape up to make weights out of. I'm trying to figure out where I can get some forms for putting them in resin, putting the lead shot and resin on little tall, you know, or little square blocks about that thick. That's what I'm hoping for. About 2.5 inches, 3 inches long, and about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, or 1.5 inches, 3/4 wide, something along those lines. But I just haven't been able to do it yet. I don't know if I showed you both sides of that or not. I got to yakking as usual, and I didn't show it to you with light through it. Well, it's not going to show a lot right now, but it'll. And I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna make it a sample, but it's still going to be fairly thick. So I'm just going to round off the edges this way, you know, around it this way and this way, just enough that I can work it, because it's about a 1/4 inch wider than my pads, and that'll give me less headaches in the long run. I'm going to try, I don't think it's going to work, but I'm going to try to start it on this one. Well, no, I know that's not going to work because I'm going to have to use the 80 grit to get this skin off, or this rind off, because I want to take the rind off of it. I'll show this on the other camera. It's already zoomed in all the way, but it's got eyes up here. I don't want to lose that outer black line. So there will still be some of this rind on there. Doesn't have any really big pits. This is, I think, about the deepest one, and this one and this one. And they're not actually pits. There's another one over here that's just a little bit deeper than the outside edge. And it's got the squarest edges of any that I've done recently already. Because most of them were slanted like that at one time or another. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll start on the 80 grit and bring you back in when I get done with the 280, and we'll see what it looks like from there. And then I'll keep going. I wasn't going to stop. Ordered new pads. They sent me the wrong ones. They sent me some more of these gray ones. But I called them today and they're going to fix that. They're going to send me the white ones instead of the gray ones, because I did order the white ones. I didn't sign in on it though, so I couldn't find it on my orders. When I went back to the site and went looking for my orders, I couldn't find my order. But I ordered 2 sets. I ordered 12 of them. They're only like $3 a piece, almost 4. It was only like a $50 order. I figured wife would sign in. Okay, I'm back. There's my stone. It's got a little bit of a shine on it. Still got a lot of 280 grit scratches on there, but I just keep gouging it. Every time I try to get them out with the 280 grit, oh, I got some grease on there somehow. There's the other side. It's getting scratches around the edges when I, because this part of my pad, or my wheel, this far out and this far over from this side, I can only use the middle part of it without leaving scratches. Seems like. Let's see if you can see them on this other camera, if I can get it to focus. They're along the bottom. They're not that big of a deal. I can get them out, but this one will be easier to get them out with because it's not going to leave that big of scratches. And the outside edges are not quite as bad as the outside edges on this one. This one's newer than these 3, because I ordered 2 more of these because I wore the first one out when I bought this whole set, and decided I'd go ahead and get 2 of this one. Now I've used them both up. I was going to keep one for an extra, and then next time I needed to order one, I could order 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 at a time instead of all 6 at a time, because it's cheaper. But here we go. We'll get started. Oh, I guess I better wet down my pads. sent me their own pads. I probably told you that already. They're going to send me some more, but I can't wait till I get there because this one's about to fall off. Or I should say, the end of it's about to fall off. I'm almost scooting over there for, that's just where my rock was at, not where my wheel's at. Well, I got 2 of those agates done on the Swazi agates. Finally. Of course, that was yesterday, or day before yesterday when I took them off. I got 3 left on there, 3 halves left on there. And they've got those little curly cube marks on them, so I brought them over here and I took them to these 3 wheels. So I tried to get it off with this one. Some of them, 2 of them, I was able to get off with these 2, and then the third one had an area on the corner that was kind of tilted up where it wasn't getting it because my weights were on there. It was that one that's shaped like this, in a long. It's kind of wider at the back end than it is at the front. It's more like this, but the walls, the outer edges of the nodule are only that far apart, about that high up. Down here is where it gets a little bit bigger. But I had a hard time getting any pads or getting my weights to stay on it. Because they wanted to either knock it over or lean to one side or the other. And I put them back on there without weights, but they weren't turning at all. So they're going to have weights. I was going to just leave that one without them. But luckily, the weights that I got on there are ones that I made up fresh. And I'm going to keep them just for the polishing stage so that I don't contaminate it anymore. I don't think it was all from the third or the final polish. I think it was probably they were just probably there and I just didn't see them. But the polish wouldn't take them out, I know that. These ones, it seems like this outer edge is softer than the inner edge, because I can hit it once and it'll scratch out here, but not in here. And the pad's gone over the same area, or the wheel's gone over the same area all the way through. Okay, I'm back. I'll move this over this way a little bit more. Here's my rock. It's a beautiful cab. Took a nice shine. Just don't like this fracture. So you can see the rust in it. There's another one down here. And it's kind of got a corner-shaped, triangular-shaped chip out of it. And it goes on around to the other side and comes down into right there. It's the same fracture, but the chips. I tried to grind that chip out, but it was going to get a little too well. It's on this side. I was going to try to grind that chip out, but it looks like it's a lot deeper with it being 3/16 of an inch wide. I've got a feeling it runs about 3 or 4/16 of an inch deep in the center, which means I'd have to take that down real thin. I did leave a little bit of the rind on there, just because it's got a kind of a blue tindle to it, and it's still got some brown in it. Some of it does, but other than that, it doesn't look too bad. And there's one here that one right there. You probably can't see it on this one. Let me go ahead and put it on this other camera that's zoomed in real quick. See if I can see it there. It's a, oh, focus. Kind of like an eye. I don't think it's going to show up, but let me go ahead and show it on that other camera. Oh, focus. There's the chip. You can see the white in it. And there's the red fracture, or the reddish fracture. Got some inclusions in it. And it's got a real good shine on it. I did have a few little pits show up after I got almost done with this 3000 grit, and I had to go back to I went back to the 1200 grit and worked, and that didn't take, after I'd worked on the 3000, I worked some more on the 1200, and then I had to go back, ended up going back to the 600 to get as much as I could of them out. There's still little bitty ones left in there, and they're on this side. I kind of like this side better. It's got those eyes in there. You can see why I left that stuff in there, because it's got the botryoidal. This was formed before the rest of this. All this down here, and then this white layer is another layer, and then the black layer is another layer, and then each one of those lines is another fill layer all the way through there. And I would say if it wasn't for that fracture, we wouldn't have had this agate. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't see any place where it was filling from. But that don't mean anything. Could have been one of these two eyes over here. Or that eye. Okay, now let's show it on this one with the light behind it. See how it does. Well. Oh. This one's a little clearer, easier to see. I'll keep all the other lights off of it. Stop looking over my glasses so I can tell if it's in focus. And this is the side I like the most. It's got those botryoidals down there at the bottom. I think, yeah. It's also got a bigger quartz pattern. Sort of, kinda. It's got more stuff coming down under here than the other side does. It's still there, but it just doesn't, it's not as clear up in here as far as fortification lines go. But anyway, that's the video. I have no clue what I'm going to do next. I'm hoping I've only got 3 more of those agates, or 3 halves of those agates left to finish polishing. And hopefully they'll be done tonight, and if they are, I'll go ahead and do a reveal video tomorrow. And that'll be out Friday. This one will be out Wednesday. I think, yeah, because I think the last one I put up was Sundays. As a matter of fact, I'm sure of it because it was yesterday when I uploaded it. Or day before yesterday. I spent all day yesterday trying to get those on the vibratory lap done. They've run for 3 days. 2 of those have run for 3 days. One of them's been on there for 2 days. And that one, it wasn't. I had to take it off because I couldn't get the. And as you can see, I used hot glue, and on the one I had to use this. It had a slant that kind of it was a bigger round one, but it had a corner shaped fracture, broke off spot on the top that was kind of tilted down. If the rock was level this way, it kind of tilted down and to one side rather than being level. And so I took a piece of Lake Superior agate and stuck on top. I put a bunch of hot glue on there, heated up the stone first. That's the only way I can get it to stick. Heated up the stone first, and then put that Lake Superior agate on there, and then threw some more glue over top of it and heated it up again. Then I heated up the tape on the weight and stuck the weight to it, and then I wrapped it with some tape and came down the side of the stone, and it kept it on there. But the other one, I had it I must have had 2 of those with corner shape, because there's the other ones I used. I got 4 of them on there. 4 or 5. 4. I got 4 Lake Superior agates on that one. That was for a different one. Oh, it was a rounded edged. No. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I used it on. I'm not using it anymore. But hopefully they'll be done tonight. But now I got to figure out a way to get these out of the hot glue. I could heat it up and get all sticky peeling it out of there, but that'd hurt my fingers because that stuff gets hot. But I've got a heat gun. I was using a heat gun to heat the stone up, but I didn't heat it up a lot. You don't want to heat them up too much. You don't want to heat them up too fast. So I put it on the lower setting and basically just warmed it up enough to where the glue would stick to it a little better. Because when you first put it on there, you can't push it into all of the pits in the rock, because you will burn your hands and you'll come away with a bunch of glue on them, and it'll keep burning until you get it off. Well, until it cools off, but that's the first thing you try to do is take it off. Sometimes it don't come off as quick, but it does cool off fairly fast. And it doesn't leave any blisters or anything. I have no idea how I got that little cut. That might have been messing around with those, because when they come off that flat lap, the outside edges are sharp because it's a flat surface. And I didn't round off any of the edges first. Wouldn't have done any good. I didn't even round any off on the rest of it. Agate, the guy from Agate, Joshua, he doesn't, when he has his polished, he prefers them to be flat all the way across. And I don't know if they make special pains to make sure there's nothing sharp on the outside edges or not. I usually try to, but if he's getting as much money as he is out of his, I should be able to get at least half of that. Because mine ain't all that, ain't Missouri, museum quality, like most of the ones he deals with. Although I bought some and was hoping I was going to get some museum quality, if it wasn't for the fractures. But anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. And remember, this uses Matt's Rocks 2, and it used to be Matt's Rocks, and I got kind of booted out. I can't get back into the channel. I can get onto it on YouTube, on my TV and my tablet, but that's about it. And once I could get onto it on my phone, when matter of fact, I got a message today, or not a message, but a comment today on that channel. And so I was able, I think it's one I'd already had left a reply with, saying that I'd changed the channel name, but I'm not sure, because I've got one guy that keeps texting me back quite a bit. Well, I've damn near ground my fingernails down to the quick. There's that one there. You can see that white there coming back. And that one there. And this one here I've ground pretty clear back to there. But it's tilted, so I didn't grind it back down to the quick. But anyway, if you were subscribed to Matt's Rocks, hopefully you've caught this, because I've been putting in the description of all my videos that I've been uploading to Matt's Rocks 2. I've been putting down in there Matt's Rocks 2, formerly Matt's Rocks. And hopefully somebody will see it. And my picture, I usually keep my face in the thumbnail. I should say I've been trying to keep my face in the thumbnail so that they might recognize me and say, oh, wait, that's Matt. Let's look at this. Oh, that's why he hadn't put any new videos. But anyway, you guys take care. I've gabbed enough. Take care and see you on the next one. And have a good day.